Blessed Epiphany to you. It is the celebration when the mysterious Magi come from the east with exotic gifts for the Christ child. Court astrologers and advisors to the monarchs of the Zoroastrian regions open this amazing story, whose scope now moves beyond the midrash of prophetic promise to the people of Judea to a more global implication and embrace of the Jesus story. Paul's letter to the Ephesians reads well as a companion commentary to the event we have come to call the Epiphany, as it is evidence that the epiphanies of God's purpose and plan continue beyond the manger. Paul is bold to say that the mystery of the grace of God was made known to him. He seeks to share his understanding of it. Epiphany means the sudden realization of the larger meaning of things. It is a moment when the whole picture becomes clear in such a way that it compels a response. The mystery of God has been revealed in Christ. The coming of the Magi indicates that all are included in the outpouring of God's grace and the capacity to see and understand the plan and purpose of God from their own context. It is possible not only to a particular religious and cultural household, but to all the people. It is the purpose begun and carried out in Emmanuel, God with us. The Apostle Paul implicates the high calling of the church to focus on God's revelation in Christ and seek understanding of God's way with all humanity and all creation as we move through history and the unfolding story of God's way with us and our way with God, and the way that we are with each other. Christian leaders and communities are specifically called to involve themselves in ongoing discernment and understanding. Anita Farber Robertson, in her helpful book, Learning While Leading, helps us practice the disciplines that lead to understanding. Succinctly stated, she says, high advocacy, high inquiry. High advocacy is clarity of the gospel that has been known to us, and the way in which we carry that out in our industry and our communities. But along with that advocacy is inquiry, seeking the other. Whether it is a fresh wind of the spiritual grace of God that renews or refines our understanding and practices, or seeking understanding of others as they come to epiphanies by other paths than we have traveled, yet have gracious implications for our industry and community formation, all the world together. Magi come to Bethlehem. Like Paul, leaders and communities who call themselves Christian must bind themselves to Christ as the revealed purpose of God and constantly seek understanding. I've been impressed by churches who have sought to transform their congregations by being more immediately responsive to the grace of God in shaping their ongoing mission. Governing boards give over more time for corporate prayer, discernment, reflection, and listening, rather than legislating and managing operations. Pastors and leaders are tasked to be in prayer and reflection, as well as conversations of discernment with congregants and with other faith leaders in the communities, seeking a broader understanding of the epiphanies of grace as they are happening beyond themselves. And then, how to respond to what God is doing as ones who have access to God in boldness and confidence through faith. I've also worked with civic leaders and business leaders who have taken greater amounts of time and energies to step out of the hustle and bustle of getting the business of the day done, to dedicate time to seeing that bigger picture, listening to the deep rhythms and meanings of the greater purposes of life beyond their limited spheres of concern. Deepak Jain of the Kellogg School of Management sees that shift as from lives seeking success to those seeking significance. Dr. Johnny B. Hill, who received his PhD from Garrett-Evangelical and now teaches at Louisville Presbyterian Seminary, has noted that this focus has within it the transformative power to heal, to restore, and renew broken lives, broken communities, institutions, and even nations. The Epiphany happened because the Magi were paying attention to the often frustrating, patience-requiring, life-focusing task of seeking the divine way and responding to it, even when it carried them beyond their imagining. God's self-disclosure in Jesus Christ and the outpouring of grace in that has made the mystery known by revelation, still requires the often frustration, patience-requiring, life-focusing, high advocacy and high inquiry of God and others to understand the eternal purpose and plan for us, all of us, in living out the commission of God's grace. May this be our Epiphany work.
Hello, my name is David Ahn, Administrative Coordinator for the Institute for Transforming Leaders and Communities. And I'd like to thank you for viewing this video and thank our members, our Garrett-Evangelical Theological Seminary community, and the initial grant from the Ministerial Education Fund to make ITLC possible. If you're considering or like to support the Institute, please click on the link located to the right, fill out your information, and be sure to restrict your gift to ITLC in the space provided, followed by the amount. Again, thank you for viewing our video and for your support.